Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are Podcast. This is Camp Slash Horrorcast, Season 5, Episode 19, Breakdown. If this is your first time checking out the podcast network, we appreciate it. Please head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just a reminder, Camp Slash Horrorcast is a weekly live videocast available on Twitch and YouTube. We go live every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/WeArePodcastNetwork and youtube.com/WeArePodcastNetwork. As the Camp Slash Horrorcast is live, I will not be editing the audio for this podcast. So what you saw live is what you get here. Please come watch the stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And if you want to see the previous streams, go check out our Twitch or YouTube channel. And for a full list of future films we'll be watching, please head over to Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /WeArePodcast. All links can be found in the description. And with that, on to the Horrorcast.
Camp Slash Horrorcast.
Hey everybody, welcome to Camp Slash Horrorcast, where we talk horror movies from the past, live at 8 p.m. Central every Monday. My name is Duck. I'm your head camp counselor. I'm here with other head camp counselors. We have Jay. Don't Mr. Me, you son of a bitch! McClintock. Jay, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing good, man. It's good to be here.
Thank you for being here. Next, we got Crux. I'm going to blow your fucking head off. Crawford. Crux, how are you, sir?
What's up? I'll send you pieces of her from time to time.
Oh, shit. I didn't even pull that one. That's such a good line.
I wanted that one.
Oh, man, dude. Next, we got David. Nice curly brown hair, upstairs and down. Interested? Jessup. David, how are you, sir?
Pretty good.
Right on. And finally, we got Raph. Your husband is a murderer and a kidnapper is what's going on. Ramirez. Raph, how are you, sir?
Fantastic, sir. Fantastic.
Right on. Good to see you all. Thank you so much for being here. We watched Breakdown, starring Kurt Russell, 1997. Oh, wait. Where'd my details go? Oh, no, I lost my details page. Oh, I can't be living in this world, and I'm opening Spotify now. All right. Release date, May 2nd, 1997. Running time, 93 minutes. Budget, $36 million. With a box office of 50.2. Synopsis. A man searches for his missing wife after his car breaks down in the middle of the desert. And we also have Miles. It's not what I want, it's what you want, Francis. Miles, how are you, sir?
Oh, good, man. Sorry I'm late. I was having a little bit of car trouble.
It's all good. Oh, I get it. I like it. All right, let's watch this trailer.
Wait till he's driving the Jeep Grand Cherokee.
As a Raph said earlier, he said this is just a car commercial or a Jeep commercial.
Is
That's
it
right. I've
though?
been
Like it breaks down though, right?
Yeah,
Like
a single
Well, no,
wire.
they disconnected the wire.
that's true. That's
Single
true.
wire.
Jeep Corporation is not responsible for theft or vandalism to vehicles.
Yes.
Contest.
Good point.
Choose between
That's hilarious.
$90,000 or 90,000 donuts.
I can't see anything.
I don't see none of that.
You can't see it. Damn it.
But I hear it. I could hear it. I just couldn't see it.
All right.
There we go.
Is that better?
What did you do?
Yeah.
Look at that.
There's the breakdown. That's the epic part of the movie. There he is.
Alright,
Our car broke down.
I can give you a ride.
Ducky,
yourself.
don't go straight to the
About
end
5 miles
today.
down the road, they got a pay
Hey,
phone.
it's
Call
true.
No,
me.
first of all, no way am I letting my wife get in that fucking truck.
Yeah.
No way.
No. Unless if she's a whore.
Not even 1997 am I letting that happen.
No.
Doesn't ring a bell.
Oh my gosh.
They're giving away everything in this trailer.
They usually do in those 80s trailers.
Nice.
Well, this movie came out in 97, so it's wild. Oh, shit.
It was this truck. I searched the truck.
He finds a gremlin. Ah!
Cop's like, this guy's a shitty trucker. He's got no load.
Yep.
All vanishing.
Right.
I wish
Yeah, it
this
was
movie
all,
had
it was
been,
all over his wife. That's why.
Oh! That was great. I wish this movie had gotten more popular so they could have done a crossover with Tremors.
Yes.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And a musical that you could have been in, Miles.
Yeah, exactly. I'll play the Jeep.
You gotta protect the Donut King.
Oh snap!
You constantly are singing about how it was because you were sabotaged, not because you were a bad car.
All right, I think that's enough of the trailer. It was just showing clips at that point. Let's
cool.
talk our history with this movie. Who all has history with it? All right, Raph, what you got?
So this is actually one of my favorite movies. I've watched it a bunch of times. It used to air on UPN 21, usually like on a Sunday or Saturday, and I would catch it all the time. I don't know why. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, I've been watching it for a long time, so I'm really glad that this movie came up. I enjoyed it then, and I enjoyed it now.
That's good, dude. Anyone else got history with it? Crux, you recommended it.
Yeah. I had this friend who his grandma had like a video store's worth of dubbed video cassettes.
Dubbed into what?
Pirated.
Huh?
Oh, pirated. They weren't.
Yeah. Sorry, like stolen. Like
stolen. Okay.
Like they weren't the original copies.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I thought they were like dubbed into like German or something.
No. And it was when by this time like VCRs already were kind of like passe. This is when DVD players. But anyway, I was in elementary school and she had all these fucking cassettes, and he was like, "Hey, this one's good. It's Breakdown." She watches it all the time, so we watched it, and ever since then, man, it's just like Raph was saying, man, I'll randomly, throughout my life, ever since then, when I was a kid, I will randomly watch this movie. I just fucking like it. I don't know. It's like Pulp Fiction for me. I can just put this on and just fucking watch it. It's just one of those movies for me.
Yeah, I saw this when I was a kid when it first came out. Same thing. I think we pirated it because my dad pirated everything back then. And I just remember it being really good. But the only part I remembered was the doom scene towards the end and the breakdown scene at the beginning. But everything else was a mystery to me watching it 20 something years later. So I was excited to watch it again. I just remember I really, really liked it. I liked the director. He ended up doing Terminator 3. Which is not a great movie, but
I like Terminator 3.
I was gonna say I don't hate Terminator 3.
I don't hate it, but it's not a great
There's
movie.
mistakes made for sure, but
Yeah, but I like it.
Yeah, I kind of like it. I kind of like it. I'm Mikey. But yeah, I think this is a killer fucking movie, but we will find out what everyone else thinks. God, if I could talk. David, Miles, and Jay, you never saw it before?
No, I saw it
as
on
well.
DVD. I saw it. It was one of those. I didn't see it in the theater, but it was a Blockbuster rental, and I enjoyed it, man. It's weird though. I haven't seen it since, so it wasn't one of those movies I like went back to. And I'm a huge Kurt Russell fan, so I don't know why, but I love the movie. J.T. Walsh, man, last movie he made, great character actor.
Oh wow,
last one.
Yeah.
You know who else is a great character actor that was in a shitload of movies was the guy who played the trooper, the cop.
yeah. I just watched Devil's Knot, and he played the cop in that as well, which is a terrible movie about a very interesting true crime case. But yeah, he basically played the same character, actually.
So, Miles, what's your history?
This came out in the late 90s when I had the magical cheater device on my satellite dish that made all of the channels came in. And
I'm happy to know we all pirated everything across the board.
But kind of like David, I saw it once. I really enjoyed it. Also a Kurt Russell fan. Also haven't watched this movie since for whatever reason.
So weird, man. It's good.
Yeah,
it
was. I liked it both times I watched it. Yeah.
I don't know why.
All right, well, let's get into discussing it. This is character actor of the movie.
Jay
never saw it before.
Yeah.
I saw it today.
No, that counts.
He was too busy driving the car in this movie. Yeah.
I think the reason I never saw this when it came out is because I put Kurt Russell in timeout after I had to watch Escape from LA.
No, yeah.
No, come on, those were great.
Was this before or after that?
I've never seen Escape from New York, and I loved Escape from LA. I thought it was fun.
Oh my god!
Then never see Escape from New York because it'll make you hate Escape from LA because you'll realize you just watched a ridiculous 90s version of Escape from New York.
There was a scene in Escape from LA where they're playing the basketball game, and he makes a shot right at the end, right? And then they did that in Alien 4. The exact same scene where she makes the shot like that. And I was just like, what is it with this basketball?
Well, they also had a very similar death game in Escape from New York. Like Escape from LA is about as much as a shot for shot remake, but badly.
But bad.
with the same director. Like I'm going off topic, but last week I watched I watched Pet Cemetery 2, and I've got a lot of love for that movie. And I always remember thinking like how much like different it was in the original. Sure as shit, same director. So you never know, man. You never know.
So breakdown, like I said, character, actor in the movie, they're just all over the place in this, acting their asses off. It's great. This is, when Crux said, is this a horror movie? Yeah, it's got definitely horror elements to it. Like these villains are terrible people. And like, it's implied that they raped her. And I'm like, holy shit. Like it's lightly implied, very lightly. I don't know whether it happened or not, but what they were doing to her was terrible enough. But whenever he says curly hair up top and down below, I'm like, how the fuck does this motherfucker know this?
That's why he knows it.
Yeah. And so and also the fear of breaking down is real. Like last night was coming back from a comedy show, and my car all of a sudden said I had 0 air in my tire, and I was like, holy shit, not right now, please. Like,
yeah, it's never fun.
And it bounced back up for some reason. I think the sensor was just broken, but that fear of breaking down is like a true thing. And he obviously, the character doesn't know anything about cars. He's just guessing, which
I was going to be really worried.
Crazy
Oh, sorry, Raph. Go ahead. My bad.
Well, I was going to say I had the same issue leaving the same comedy show where
Did you guys roast Greasy Gordo too hard? Did he slash your tires?
My tire had a nail in it, and it went from 40 to 20 on the PSI, and I just freaked out, bro.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Greasy Gordo is definitely, I don't know him well enough to know what he knows about cars, but he certainly looks like a guy that would know. He's the guy
at least looks like he would know how to make them not work, if nothing else.
According to his show last night, he knows a lot about cocaine. So, go ahead, Miles. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I was really worried about like the breakdown element of this movie. I was kind of thinking when I started it today that it's like, this is gonna be one of those movies that like you really have to turn your brain off about, like cell phones didn't exist yet, and like I thought technology was essentially going to ruin the idea of this movie, and I really don't think it did. Like they did a really good job of like explaining like the idea of like they did have a cell phone, it didn't work. That's still something that can happen to this day. I mean, there's probably some things that could have been saved with technology, but I was surprised by how well this 26-year-old movie felt like very believable, like could still happen to you.
100%, man. And I will tell you, as somebody who just drove through the fucking middle of nowhere desert yesterday,
oh yeah,
there are plenty of spots, even in 2023, in between Phoenix and LA, where you just have no cell phone reception.
Nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's terrifying. What if Crux would have went through the breakdown scenario?
I'm Kurt Russell. I got my sweater tied around my
neck. We would have dedicated this podcast to him.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell was definitely channeling his inner Zaddy vibes with this with this wardrobe choices in this bad boy.
I mean,
one other real quick thing that you just were talking about, Ducky, a few minutes ago that I wanted to comment on. You know how they were talking about like hair up top and down below or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing that always takes me out of it with this movie every time I watch it is when JT Walsh is saying those same kind of things, and he's like, about what does he say? Like 25% of that whatever is pure tit or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, dude, she's not even that busty, dude. What is this? Yeah.
No, he says about 3 or 5 pounds of that is pure tit.
That's okay.
And Raph did weigh that. He did make sure that was scientifically accurate. It's on his list.
Yeah, I kind of like that though, because let's just say it, she's hot. But yeah, like the whole thing where this character who's obviously a yuppie or whatever you would call him and his wife, the upper middle class people that have a little bit of money in the bank and are dealing with it. The fact that he becomes an action star, I mean, obviously it's Kurt Russell, so he's going to kick some ass, but like he does get the shit beat out of him quite a bit in the beginning of it, especially with the Jeep going into the water. I was shocked. I was like, what was the game plan there, dude? Like,
dude, that part did also make me be like, guys, like there's a lot of options other than the river. That's like the one place the Jeep can't go.
But that was still a great scene because you see him float away, you think he's getting away, and his dumbass goes back for a look and then gets knocked upside the head by Billy, I believe, the guy playing the retard, which also a great character.
It took me forever, both the wife and Billy. I'm like, I know these actors. Why do I know these actors? And then it hit me.
MTV.
They're both in. Well, they're
Event
also
Horizon.
both in Event Horizon. Yeah, exactly. That's
They're
where
all
it
in
clicked for
tons
me.
of stuff in the 90s.
Mama Bear and Baby Bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
Why was Billy pretending to be retarded and then all of a
Because
sudden he's not?
because The Usual Suspects came out 2.5 years before this. It was kind of and then Primal Fear came out the year before this. So it was by this point, it was a pretty overused trope.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's kind of giving away what's actually happening when he's acting that way, and then.
But the whole point was for them to get Kurt Russell by the river so they could kill him. That's why he was telling them what he wanted to hear. Any other way, he probably wouldn't believe him. So you listen to a retard when they tell you what you want to hear, which is crazy.
Yeah. And Forrest Gump came out 3 years earlier too. So yeah,
then simultaneously, right after you first meet Billy, you go to the guy who's like for some reason completely out of place restaurant owner, like in the middle of nowhere where it's supposed to be a bunch of rednecks. He's like, "Yeah, what's going on? What can I get you, buddy?"
The only employee here. I'm the only one who works here.
Yeah. But that guy, is he in on it? That's my question. He doesn't seem to be.
Yeah,
but
he's in on it.
Do you think?
I think he knows what they're up to, but he doesn't have a stake in it. I think that's what it is. He's afraid.
He's a good bartender. He keeps a secret.
Hey guys, we can't use the word retard anymore. We have to use the word, according to Wikipedia, mental impairment.
Okay,
is what they refer to Billy as.
How about
he feigns mental impairment?
How about pretarded? Pretend retarded. That would work.
Dude, that needs to be a website. And it's just it's all about actors who like went full retard to get an Academy Award.
Sean Penn, yeah, he went.
Rain Man, pretarded. I like that.
Retarded.
That's gonna be my new merch. I just did the copyright.
Retarded?
Yeah, just a little retarded.
I'm
gonna sell
for
so
short.
none. Yeah.
We do Riri. Yeah, that works. Riri. Pre-re, yeah. The old pre-re. But whenever he takes his hair down and he whips it back and forth like Willow Smith, it's a weird reference. Yeah, he just becomes like normal then, and so I was like, wow, what the fuck? But like, I like all these character actors just being bad, especially the guy who plays Earl. He is just a bad motherfucker, and the character, I can't remember the guy who played him, what his name is, but he said he regretted playing this role because he was just such an evil son of a bitch. So
was that Randall Tex Cobb? Was that?
I think you're right. I think that's who it was.
He used to be he used to be a boxer. I think he actually fought Muhammad Ali.
No joke.
No,
I think
that's cool.
We'll see if
I mean, if that's not true, it's still badass. So I want it to be true.
He was the bad guy in Police Academy. I think, was it 4 or 5? One of those two.
Did they go to Moscow?
No, that was 6.
Oh damn!
Or no, that was 7. Mission to Moscow.
You know your Police Academy's good, sir.
Goddamn
80s
right.
Gold Gutenberg. 80s Gold Gutenberg.
Mission to Moscow was technically a 90s movie, but I'm not gonna hold that.
So we got to talk about the action scenes. There's 4 of them. The first one being the car chase with Earl chasing him, and he goes in the river. Kind of talked about that. The second one being when they're in the car and Kurt Russell's driving, he's got Earl tied up and duct taped to the thing, and he's like, "This thing will stop on a fucking dime." I love that. I thought that was great.
My favorite.
He's underneath
choking him every time he's hitting the brake.
Yeah, dude. And then being underneath the truck and then cliffhangering up, I don't know what you would call that, cliff, going up the side of the truck.
Yeah.
Pointless.
I got big Sideshow Bob vibes personally, but when he's underneath the truck on the way out across the desert, I was expecting him to step on like 21 rakes when he got off that thing.
No, I had a huge problem with that scene because he's running behind the truck in a very public, and there's a lot of people out there, and nobody's watching this crackhead just jump into the spare wheel rack. Like, you would think somebody would say something.
I think the whole idea is the town knows what they're up to, kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say with the diner scene when Ducky asked if they're on it. My impression was more so those are all locals, and it's one of those like they know something bad is happening, but they just kind of want to keep their mouth shut and stay out of it because they know that really bad thing could come back on them and their families if they are the ones to speak up, which is still a thing that exists. But that was like the vibe 100%. I got from the whole diner.
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a possibility.
I thought that the cop was going to be involved.
I did.
I did too. Yeah, I thought they were all against them. Like, and in some ways they were,
I kind of like that. I always like that kind of. I don't know if it's a trope or not, but the idea of like, I guess Texas Chainsaw Massacre was the first to do it.
Dead and Buried.
Yeah, Dead. Oh yeah, Dead and Buried. Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Since you brought it up, we guys got to get on the new Texas Chainsaw Massacre game if you haven't already. It's
how is that?
Quite fun. I mean, it's a clone of Dead by Daylight, but with Leatherface and the family.
That's awesome.
And they have made it unique enough. Honestly, that's harsh because I truly think they've put enough of a twist on it to make it feel a little bit different. Will it have the longevity that DVD has? Probably not, but for now, it's a lot of fun.
Nice. Hey, by the way, Dead by Daylight's coming out with an Aliens chapter.
Hell yeah, that's cool.
There you go.
And they just came out with Nick Cage, which is great because you get to play him. And
they need to do a pack where he's both the survivor and the killer. I want to see both
that would be
aspects of
awesome.
Cage.
That'd be great.
Badass. Yeah.
We got distracted.
No, it's fine. That's what happens. We all have ADHD, I'm pretty sure. So we all go, of course. And then the final action scene being in the barn at the end of the movie. That is fun, especially the Mexican showdown. Are you allowed to say Mexican showdown now? Is that?
Yes,
I think. Let me look it up real quick.
Hispanic showdown.
Yes, Crutch is right. It's Hispanic
It's
showdown.
the Latinx showdown.
I think it's a Latinx showdown. Yeah, for sure.
But we got Roth, so we can get away with it.
Yeah, I can say anything.
Raph gave us the green light.
Do not drop the M word again. No, it's fine.
He was feeling it.
But yeah,
that emotional sometimes.
That showdown in the kitchen with the kid with the shotgun is pretty cool.
That's a good.
I really like that twist
kid.
where he was also just like a family man. Like his wife and kid didn't know all like the dirty deeds that were going down, and like that made that whole sequence like a lot more, I guess, fun to watch in a weird way, just because the wife was obviously loyal to her husband until she kind of got to the point where she's like, oh shit, like my husband has a woman locked up in the secret hole in our barn.
I love the fact that like she tries to help her out of the fridge and she's like, get out of it. I was like, well,
too late.
Proper
you
reaction.
Did not offer me a cold beverage. We're not doing that.
Yeah. I mean, and then you get the epic. I guess there's 5 scenes. You get the epic chase at the end where you got the semi and the 2 trucks,
3 cars,
and the 3, and the Jeep. And then I love it.
You pulled its own against the semis.
Yeah, dude. When Billy,
this is the Jeep commercial. God damn it.
Yeah, when Billy flips the his car and it explodes, I literally cheered. I was so happy. And I know that's one of Jay hates that when people cheer at movies, but I was like, yeah.
I didn't say I hate when people cheer at movies.
Oh, I thought you did.
Well, you just said you hated it when people cheered at Oppenheimer. You thought that was weird.
Did people cheer at Oppenheimer?
Yeah.
Only
Well,
in the
it was
post-credit
me.
scene.
They did.
It was me.
Americans.
Nobody cheered at Oppenheimer.
And I when they tested it, I was like, USA, USA, and Jay's like, shut up.
Quit screaming! These colors don't run, David. It's okay.
He pulled out a shotgun and shot it in the theater.
I was like, you try this in a small town. That doesn't even make sense.
But yeah, that final chase scene and the final battle on the overpass, just so much fun. Just ridiculous, over the top. No one would have survived that. I like it when the semi goes through the trailer. I thought that was cool, and it just rips it to pieces. Just a fun action movie, and like it's a '90s action movie. Does it feel like a '90s movie to you guys?
Yes.
Yeah, very much.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't know.
What I don't understand is that
Nokia phone.
it opened at #1, but I thought it would have done a lot more money than it did. I mean, it was a good movie.
I mean, for 1997, that's pretty good, right? They weren't.
When did it come out? What like week? What
was like
opening?
March 3rd or something like that.
Wow.
Was that Titanic too going on?
No, Titanic didn't come out to December, but around March would have been the Star Wars re-releases in '97. So that was probably a pretty tough climb.
Remember this?
Because I'm Jay.
Yes.
Hey Jay, what's Kurt Russell's birthday?
It's March 1951. I want to say 17th. Let's see how close I am.
Oh my God, this is insane.
St. Patty's Day.
Do you remember that show, The Nerds, on Comedy Central? And they had like the
briefly, yeah.
Nailed it.
Oh,
like Jay
God.
should have been the movie nerd on that. Like where like you have to attack the nerds or whatever it was.
He's our movie nerd.
We should bring that show back and just have Jay be one of the.
another thing about when it came out too, this is not right at the end, but this is heading towards the end of an era where you could put movies out like this, like a movie that's not like a gigantic, huge, like big time blockbuster. It's not a superhero movie. It's not like, now you got to make, in order for movies to be a big success now, because of the way society is and the internet, social media, and the way that, you know, pirating is, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. When you put big movies out in theaters now, you have to make it a big fucking event, like in order to justify the budgets. This is back when studios had the money still to put out just regular kind of just stories of just shit happening. You know what I mean?
And this was an expensive movie to make, wasn't it? I mean, for 30, back then, 36 million.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Yeah.
It barely made its box office. It barely made its budget back. This is probably 50, a loss. This is probably a loss when you consider marketing. Yeah.
Yep.
We might be retreading like an old conversation we had on one of these recently, but I feel like this is the victim of like what Crux was saying, where there isn't like a double A or A movie. Everything has to be like triple A, big budget, knock out of the park. There is, or just a complete indie film. There is literally nowhere in between, and it's a real shame because you miss out on some really gems like this one.
I'm looking at the release date. It was released on May 2nd of 97. And back then, the hot week was definitely Memorial Day. So May 2nd was definitely kind of considered like the last of the, basically January through April and like the very beginning of May. That was where you generally saw your weakest releases.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a couple of reasons. One, I heard this when I was working in the movie theater back in 97, is that most of their workforce are high school students. So you don't really have as much labor as you will in the summer. So that was the same. Yeah, it got released about a month before Lost World 2 did. So
oh wow.
Or Lost World Jurassic Park 2 came out. So
you were talking about the budget too. I doubt this had a huge effect on it, but I did read that Kurt Russell had a lot of very special treatment on set on this one, because he basically didn't really want to do it. He had just come off of the Escape from LA and he wanted a break to be with his family. And I believe it was the director got them to agree that he would have a maximum of 12 hours on set each day, and they would fly him basically privately in a helicopter to and from his family at night. So basically he got to go home and spend time with his family every single night. They would fly him in, get him into makeup. They would do like a little bit of shooting. They do lunch. He'd do like 4 hours of shooting and he'd fly home. That was
I guarantee you that ballooned the budget.
Yeah. Had to.
He needed to go see Wyatt Russell. That's why.
The helicopter bride.
Honestly, though, like this movie, if it came out now, would come out on Netflix or something like that. Like it, you know what I mean?
It'd be a 10-part series.
Yeah, it'd be a 10-part series. It'd be like The Fugitive. But like just like Twisted Metal just came out. Like that's a pretty decently like action oriented TV show that came out. It feels kind of like this. It's kind of like a pays homage to movies like this from the 90s, and I kind of dig that. I don't know if anyone else watched Twisted Metal. It wasn't great.
Not yet.
I like Twisted Metal. I'm a defender of it.
It is what it is. I mean, it's not high art by any means, but I thought they did a lot of fun stuff with the source material.
Yeah, it was fun.
It has me hyped for a season 2 that we'll probably never get.
Yeah. No, we'll probably get that.
You think so? I don't think it made enough buzz.
It was the number one. It was the number one show on Peacock or whatever.
For like 3 days.
Not saying much. It is
Paramount Plus, whatever it was.
If it's on Paramount, then it was only until the next season of Survivor starts, bro. Like it just doesn't make enough waves.
I hear you. So yeah, with this movie, does anyone, Raph, you got a list?
So a couple things. It really does show how good the Jeep handling was when he avoids both of those wrecks. The first one on the highway when he dodges a truck, and then the second one when he's running from the guy near the river, and then he dodges that the front loader there. But what I really did, I could not stop laughing was like if they would have took that scene when he crashes into the river, and then they would have been like, your Jeep, it also doubles as a boat.
It just drives out.
It's shitty bang
at
bang.
At the end of the movie, it comes driving itself up to rescue the wife, dripping water behind it.
That'd be great.
That's great.
So again, I really did like the plot of the guy disconnecting the wires and then telling him later, it's like, you shouldn't have left your hood open. That's how the breakdown happened. The guy confesses to ripping the wires out or loose, because again, Jeep wouldn't have just allowed them to show a car break down and not be a reason behind it.
And that's why like I love how he's just sitting there just fucking shitting on him for that whole truck ride. Shouldn't let you good, fucking yuppie piece of shit. We saw you coming from a mile away, you dumbass motherfucker. Like just tearing him down.
I have a slight actually moment when it comes to, and only because I've been driving a Dodge Neon for the better part of 12 years, so I have a lot of experience with repairing a car. But basically, the part they unhooked was his lighting harness for the right light. So you had to kind of suspend a little bit of disbelief.
You mean that doesn't make every part of the car fail simultaneously?
And the other part is he goes, "You should have left your hood open." Well, you didn't use the hood to do that. You clearly were underneath the car. So I got a couple of little RAF checkpoints for you. So, boom.
Yeah, even when he tries to tear the car down too, he still kind of gives it a compliment to show you all the compliments about the car. He's like, yeah, these things with their advanced computers that make things very convenient, that run so well and make life easier. Hey, can't trust them, man.
It's a Jeep. There's only one.
I just want to say I love it when Crux does voices because he becomes a completely different person. Like it's awesome, dude. What else you got, Raph?
When Kurt Russell finally pulls the 18-wheeler over and the cops letting the guy go away, man, bro, I got goosebumps when he looked at the guy and he's like, "No hard feelings, but I hope you find your wife." Because you knew he had her. I'm like, "You son of a bitch, you have her somewhere." Yeah. So that was pretty crazy.
That's a great point. Great movie. Great point in the movie.
And then Billy does tell him, well, let me see, I got it here. Billy tells him, don't you see the cops are in on it too? Billy tells him that, but the cops, because then you start thinking the cops are involved, especially when the cop tells him, like, "Go see my deputy in town." And then when he does go see the deputy in town, you see the walls covered with females. They all kind of look like his wife.
I'll be right back.
They've been doing it for a long time.
All right, let's start talking shit about Duck while he's gone.
Dude, a good puppy.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah, what's up?
I have it confirmed on Oppenheimer. There was a gloved hand pushing Florence Pugh's head into the bathtub.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Whoa.
Yeah,
I got some doing some research. Apparently, the guy I thought was Randall Tex Cobb was MC Gainey from Con Air, and Randall Tex Cobb did not fight Muhammad Ali. He fought Larry Holmes.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Close. So yeah,
and that's the guy that played
MC Gainey. He's the pilot. He was the pilot in Con Air. So he was rocking and rolling, man. He had a busy summer between this and Con Air.
When was Con Air? 97?
Con Air.
97.
Is another great movie.
Con Air was a huge hit, man. That was massive, wasn't it?
And that's a movie that a lot of people think Michael Bay directed, but didn't. That's a big Mandela effect when it comes to that movie.
Interesting.
I would have
all the explosions, I'm guessing.
And Nicolas Cage.
You can't forget Dave Chappelle. Yeah. Dave Chappelle's in it too.
Oh yeah, he gets stuck in the tire.
It's also a movie that because it came out too early, that doesn't have it, but it would have been a great movie to have Nickelback have the soundtrack.
Oh my gosh, don't tease me.
That would have ruined it.
No, it wouldn't have.
All right.
I'll stand Nickelback.
So back to this. So
that's why
the last thing is all the females on the board, you can see them. There are a bunch of white females missing. And then when they're at the barn, you see all the stuff from the people they've killed, all the video cameras and clothes on top of the barn, like where Kurt Russell sneaks in. So then you could just imagine how many women they have killed or how many people. And they also talk about killing the couple from Ohio. That you should have just done them real clean like that. So this one just got out of hand for them. It was real unprofessional for murderers to let them get away like that.
Well, it was super like when they got the lady out and they're like, "Oh, she's not moving, must be dead. We're good, just bury her." It's like, come on, guys.
I like how quickly that kid grabbed that gun. That kid had been getting some great Christmases with all the loot they've been stealing from everybody. Here comes Kurt Russell about to rain on his parade. He wasn't gonna let that happen. That kid was ready. That kid had been practicing.
Well, practicing on Doom.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
pretty
Yeah,
sure that
that's
was
right.
the Sega Saturn version of Doom 2, which would have been super expensive back then. So yeah, they were making some money.
Sega Saturn.
They were
He
getting
did
there.
he just brought home $90,000 bonus for this one trip, so
Yeah,
I think he can
dude.
afford it. Yeah.
100%.
So this would have made for a badass second movie if it's the kid older and he's searching for Kurt Russell to kill him. Because he left him without a daddy.
Yeah.
So,
Well, they
He
didn't.
didn't, and he didn't see the big reveal of the woman being in his basement, so it would have been perfectly right.
Yeah, yeah. He would
Yeah,
never
the
know
kid
what
did it.
happened.
Breakdown 2, you killed my paw.
Yeah.
Which was an awesome kill. Again, the 18-wheeler, the lady that was in the again, his wife, Kurt Russell's wife, releases the gear handle, making the truck go forward, and then that 18-wheeler just falling and crushing the guy after he fell onto those rocks. So he was already in pain, just watching this thing come down towards him. It was an awesome ending. I loved it.
So originally
again,
in the script,
great
it was
film.
supposed to be Kurt Russell who pulled it, but like while they were filming, he's like, have her pull it instead. So
Oh, nice.
makes it a kind of like a little more vengeful, you know. So
The main villain, the truck driver, he also edited his own script at one point because he basically crossed out every line that wasn't about getting the money. And he's like, anything that has like me being emotionally invested in this just makes my character seem weak.
Wow.
And
wow.
they took that edit and they actually like trimmed his lines significantly, which sounds to me like that dude was also just like tired of having to memorize lines. Like he's like, what do I do to get a break here? I get the same paycheck for a third of the work now.
And
Well,
he was
was-
dying, wasn't he? Didn't he have cancer or something?
yeah, this
Probably,
was
yeah.
his last movie, I believe. This or I'm not sure if it was this one or if there was another one after, but he died shortly after this. But he was in over 60 films. He was known for playing the villain most of the time or the heavy. And I mean, just like I said, just character actors in the movie. And I love character actors in the movie. Those are the best because these guys that you're like, oh, that guy. And he's actually in the documentary, Oh, That Guy, which is about character.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
Yeah. So
Another great
That
character
one guy from that
actor,
one thing.
Emmett Walsh, another great Walsh character actor.
what would you say, Crux?
Oh, there's another movie about documentary about character actors called That Guy from That One Thing.
Yeah.
No, seriously, there is.
That's awesome.
It's that Leonardo DiCaprio meme where he's pointing at the screen. You recognize him. So,
Nice.
all right. Well, let's go to recommend. Jay, do you recommend Breakdown?
Hell yeah, man! I feel really bad. I waited all these years to watch Breakdown, but you know, ironically, the day I was going to watch Breakdown, I saw Father's Day with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal, and I think we can all agree that Robin Williams has the best J.T. Walsh quote of all time when he looks at him in Good Morning Vietnam and goes, "I've never seen a man in more dire need of a blowjob in all my life." You think of every time he was on screen. But no, I really totally recommend. I loved it. Hour and a half popcorn thriller, easy digestion, easy squeezy. Loved it.
Very nice. Miles, do you recommend it?
100%, dude. And I actually I made the comment when I was watching earlier too. This movie has almost zero fat. Like it's two people in a car and the action starts almost instantly and it pretty much doesn't let up for, like Jay said, 90 minutes straight through. It's easy to watch, and I also am kind of thinking this one will become like a Crux style background movie for me whenever I need something to, you know, fill the silence or whatever.
Very nice. David, do you recommend Breakdown?
Yeah, man, I do. I'm kind of bummed out that it doesn't really have like a cult following. You know, it just seems kind of forgotten, and it's such a shame. It's a really, really good movie.
Hell yeah. Raph, do you recommend it?
Absolutely. We could start that cult following if you want, because this is a great film.
We meet up with robes on and get the VHS tape and put it in the middle of the pentagram.
Bro, I don't know about all that, but
Yeah, we're gonna.
What'd you say about a pentagram? Okay,
I know, dude. I noticed that hat. That's badass.
Thank you so much.
But I recommend it 100%. I love
Oh,
it.
hell
It's
yeah.
such a great movie.
Very nice. And Crux, do you recommend it?
Absolutely. This was my recommendation for this week's episode. So absolutely love it.
Yeah, and I will recommend it also. It is a great movie. Very much holds up. I think it's a fun watch. Every time we watch a Kurt Russell movie on this podcast, we have a good time. So hopefully that continues. But he just has a way of choosing good movies to be in and kills it when he's in them. So big ups to Kurt Russell. I did go through a phase of my life where I didn't like Kurt Russell movies. but I changed
When was that?
back when I was an idiot. So
yesterday.
What was the last Kurt Russell movie we did?
Tango and Cash.
We did, yes, Tango and Cash.
Is this the first unanimous recommendation we've had in a while? It feels like
think
it.
so, yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think we did
Good job,
The
Crush.
Thing, and we did
The Thing.
What was the other one? We've done another one too.
I think it was just The Thing.
The Thing, great, one of the greatest movies of all time. Thank you very much.
He's not known for horror, so that's why I don't think you'd really see him in a bunch.
I'll remember it later. I'm positive we've done another one.
Is it just real quick question, guys? Is there? I know I want to go on the Thing rant. Is there a movie that was so hated but is now so beloved more than The Thing? Just a quick question. That one, it was so hated when it came out, but is now considered an absolute classic. Because that to me is so strange.
No.
Monster Squad.
Independence Day, or maybe that's the opposite.
Independence Day was a huge hit, though.
Yeah. You're right. I'm wrong.
That was at the time it was the highest grossing movie of all time.
But people hated it.
Yeah.
But that just something to think about. Just something to think about. I don't know the answer, but I'm just curious.
I'm still trying to figure out what the other Kurt Russell movie we watched was.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China.
We haven't watched
that. Kurt Russell? We haven't watched it. Okay.
I think you're Mandela affecting Duck. I think you're thinking that he was the main character and They Live, but it wasn't. It was Roddy Piper.
You're right. I might be thinking that.
Hey everyone, it's just Duck jumping in here real quick to say thank you so much for checking out the podcast today. If you're enjoying it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, or iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And just so you know, the next section of the podcast will be clips from the movie, so you can find replays of the live video stream at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. Once again, all links can be found in the description. Come check out our live stream every Monday at 8 p.m. And for a full list of future films, check out our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast. And with that, back to the Horrorcast.
All right, well, let's watch some clips of this bad boy. Let's watch some clips.
Didn't we do Bone Tomahawk?
That's
there we
what
go.
it
Yes.
was.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Good job, Rob.
watched
Love that
another
movie.
That was a
I
great
love
one.
Kurt Russell and westerns.
Yeah.
I'm just not a
So
Western
good.
guy.
His
The
fault.
mustache.
What the fuck? It is his fault that he almost hits them. He's not looking. It's
But he wasn't pulled out.
He pulled out.
Onto the highway like that, bro. Fuck that guy.
Man, did you see that?
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled right out in front of me.
Yeah.
My eyes off the road for a second, but I mean, come on.
Killed us.
She's not that
You
hot.
even care that you damn near killed us back there, boy?
I didn't really even see you, okay?
I think I got enough hair that I could do that hair, that beard thing.
I mean, you kind of pulled out in front of me.
Yeah.
Like hell I did. I saw what happened.
Let's just forget this, okay? I mean, I'm sorry it ever happened. I don't
I'm a
want any
pussy.
trouble.
Was he in Conan the Barbarian?
Who, MC Gainey?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't.
90,000 donuts.
You can choose between $90,000 or 90,000 donuts.
That means each of those donuts is $1, right? So, okay, meet the villain.
Who would do that? I'm still trying to figure out which fat ass would do that.
Me. I don't want the money. Give me the donuts.
Are they all powdered donuts too? Can you get the chocolate ones?
Just the powdered, baby.
You ride to Bell's, little diner about 5 miles down the road. They got a payphone. You call a tow truck. They just come in and haul you out.
Sure you all right?
Nah, I'll be fine. Honey. He is so beautiful. Showing off some skin there.
Yeah, how
God
would you
damn it,
allow
dude.
your woman to get on the 18-wheeler?
I know everybody said it a bunch of times, man, but JT, he's such a good actor.
He's such a good actor. They all in on it.
Hey, the man here's looking for his wife. Doc can.
Oh, listen up.
Oh, wife here.
Baseball cap. Has anybody here seen him?
So they're in the middle of like Phoenix, Arizona, right? Why does he have a Jersey accent?
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Because
running
people from New Jersey aren't allowed to live in Arizona.
The thing is, guys, if you read the novelization, he's actually running away from the mob. He's actually,
service.
I can see that. I get that.
Yes.
But
Pull over.
And that's why he's allowing the murders to happen. He knows better.
Yep. Snitches get rewarded.
Fuck you.
Nah, bro.
Never seen you.
What the hell are you doing, buddy?
I was trying to get
This
you
is
to
the
pull
best.
over. Didn't you see me?
Yeah.
This is when my nerves started going up. I'm like, oh my
Yeah.
god, no way.
I'm looking for my wife.
Look, I don't know how to tell you this, but I've never seen you before in my
I'm
life.
fucking seeing you, bro.
So good.
It's the po-po.
That's real quick. Just that's the adrenaline inducing part in this movie. Just like Raphael was talking about, it's even worse right when the cop shows up and then when that moment when Kurt Russell looks at him, when he looks at JT Walsh's character and he goes, "What are you doing?" Like that's when it's like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
That's
and
the
JT
batteries dropped.
He totally sells
Yeah.
it too, and that he doesn't know him. And for a
Yeah.
moment, I was like, "Is this like his twin brother or something like that?"
It's like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Now I saw her. She was with this guy in his truck. Now he's saying
Giving
he's
him a
never
hand job.
Officer, I don't know what he's talking about.
Don't lie, you son of a bitch!
All right, calm down.
Ooh, bro.
Missing
You know,
people.
there's over 100,000 people go missing in this country every year.
Look at all those women.
Deadbeat dads, dropouts, folks hiding.
That's horrifying, man.
Bro,
All vanishing
so
without a
many.
trace.
I'm not saying that your wife is one of them.
And believe me, the FBI won't even look at your
This guy was never in another movie.
case
Ever.
until it's been 24 hours.
Fake out.
Yeah, but the guy's fucking with him in there. It's like, you should go check the restroom.
See, they're in on it. That's why.
Yeah.
Got him. Yeah, got him.
The fucking slips.
You calling me a liar?
I'm gonna see these fucking slips!
Why is he going to shoot him over some slips?
Yeah, that's
Because he's
aggressive.
from
I thought it was
Jersey.
set Texas for a second.
Retarded. Pretend retarded. So you even wrote it down.
Nice.
Well, they think I'm a dummy, but I ain't. I'm gonna get my trucker's license one day.
It's Earl, my favorite character in the movie.
Get out of the car now.
Oh, shit.
He's going swimming.
That was a great scene. You're like, oh shit, he's getting away.
I like how it goes from stunt double to Kurt Russell to stunt double to Kurt Russell. That is definitely not Kurt Russell right there.
Yeah, all right.
Long hair, don't care.
Mm.
Hey, you all right?
Now I'm evil.
Now you can't see my ears. My hair covers it.
According to your wife, you got a good pile of cash sitting in your bank account at home. Is that true?
What?
What you want?
What do you want?
It's not what I want. It's what you want. How bad you want it, because it is going to cost you. Can't show it to you right now. But it's about 5'5", 115 pounds, 3 or 4 of that just pure tit.
Oh my god.
Upstairs and down.
They totally raped her. It's terrible.
Get the show on the road.
Suspense. This scene is kind of pointless whenever everything's said and done. He's got to get the money.
Can't
But
call anyone. Do you understand? The whole town's under surveillance. Forget.
Yeah, but also if he didn't make any attempt to try to get out of it, it would have made him less sympathetic. I think. Like I think
You're right.
Like you need to see the desperation, and when that guy shows up and is like, "Are you the guy I need to see about a house loan?" It's like you realize how much of a like they've got eyes everywhere.
yeah,
Accident. Yeah, mine.
and it just like you said reinforces the whole town's behind it.
Nah, I'm just kind of. How long is this gonna take?
Money, money,
Just
money.
throw the money right up here on this seat.
No. First, you tell me where she is.
Wrong, asshole. First you give me the money and then you find out. Unless you want me just to shoot your ass dead right here on the side of the highway.
There you go. It's a ducking dime. I didn't do that on purpose.
You want me to stop? You really want me to stop? Because I'll bet this baby stops on a fucking dime.
It's a great fucking delivery of that line.
Bro, I love that.
Earl's dead.
That was definitely a Jack Burton moment.
Yeah, that was a great line.
He wouldn't have been able to hit him with that little gun from that far away.
Oh, got him. This stupid fucking kid right here. He's retarded.
Well,
basically licking the window.
It was like, what the fuck?
Hey,
I really wanted Kurt Russell to wave right there. I know he's holding on to the bottom of a truck, but it would just been so funny if he was just like.
What you got, Jay?
I thought that was a really missed opportunity to make that the kid.
Yeah, I thought when I was clipping it back, I was like, that'd be interesting if it was the same kid. It's the dead wife.
All right, honey. Time to get up. Let's go. Come on. Come on, move it.
I love the cinematography in
Get
this
up.
movie. They did a hell of a job.
Suicide.
Yeah, from the beginning to the end, they did great.
He's just so evil. 10 minutes.
Damn it! Cut your fucking squirming!
Oh, come on, baby. It's not as bad as it sounds. It'll take you about 10 minutes to suck all that air out. You probably won't even feel it.
He's just so evil. It's perfect. But my favorite part of the movie is right here. The Doom.
The nice ass TV.
Yeah, I can't confirm, but look at all the shit this kid's got. Like, he's being spoiled like a motherfucker.
He's got a guitar.
Yeah.
Look, you can see the pentagram on the screen where you froze it.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
Wild.
That's the beginning of our cult right there.
Well, he's rocking the plasma cannon, which is not as good a weapon as most people think.
And the sound effects aren't from the The shotgun kid.
Daddy keeps his rifle loaded all the time. He showed me in case I need to protect Mommy when he's away.
Squeeze that trigger. Go on.
Do it!
Oh, got him! Got the fatty. They got fridged.
You made it, baby. Come on.
Honestly, if you think about it from that woman, the other woman's perspective, his wife, like that's gotta be like she's having just as big of a mindfuck moment than anybody else in this movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
She knows that all these goods ain't coming from truck hauls.
She just refuses to accept the reality.
I literally have no idea how much a truck driver made. So if I
thought he
made a
was a
truck driver and they were like,
They make good money, man.
It pays $100,000 a delivery. I'd be like, that's dope. More people should
Nowadays,
do
it
this.
really does. There's such a massive shortage, but
they can make good money, but not that good.
Yeah.
So that's why most truck drivers kidnap Kurt Russell's wife.
That's why.
Trailer smash. Here it comes.
That's a great one.
Never saw it in a movie. Freaking awesome. I love it anytime a movie can show me something new.
Yeah.
Car kaboom.
20 million alone just in that
I love this.
Fuck yeah.
You can see that it's a dummy when it was sliding. Billy's dead.
trailer. Great
Billy.
explosion too.
Kaiser Billy is dead.
Ramming speed.
That's great too. Her leg being pinned, you're like, oh shit, she's done for.
Yeah.
It's got the chain. Don't you never break the chain. Get him, Kurt Russell.
He's like, fuck you. Fucked up, buddy.
There it is. Smash. Fuck that guy.
Happy birthday to the ground.
I like that it's the wife that did it. I love that she was the one that released it.
Pretty cool. All right,
Look at
y'all,
that Karen. Look at that Karen pose she's giving right there in the
Look at
poster.
that beauty. Every time I see it, I think she's pregnant because of the corner of the G.
Yeah,
sticking out. Like,
That's a
I
bad
have
look.
to take a double take every single time.
He lost a bet. They had to go with this poster.
All right, that was a breakdown. What a great movie. Let's do some recommendations. My first one will be a not so great movie, but it falls in line with this. It will be Black Dog, the Armageddon to Deep Impact of breakdown, in my opinion, starring Patrick Swayze. And this movie is just about big rigs and big rig drivers, and Meatloaf's in it, and it's not great, but he is awesome at the end of it when he goes psycho. So I love a Meatloaf overacting. I think it's one of the funnest things to watch ever. Oh yeah, Randy Travis is in it too. I forgot about that.
Nice.
All right, and then my second one will be, because of big trucks, Maximum Overdrive. I mean, come on, if you're going to talk about truck,
Hell
movies, you gotta
yes.
go to the
Good one.
The good one, yes. So
if we do this movie, we all have to do cocaine because that's what Stephen King was on when he was making it. So we got to be in the spirit. We got to.
Did you ever hear about the uncut version of this that never got released because it was going to
there wasn't much that Stephen King had around this time that wasn't uncut, but
what happened with this specifically, dude?
Well, it was incredibly gory. Like it was so gory, it got an X rating, and
shit.
It was that
There's
bad.
Lisa
Probably
Simpson
for kids.
for a brief moment. Yeah.
Yep. So I definitely recommend this. They play gay chicken in this movie a couple times, and it's pretty great.
And regular chicken, to be fair.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Anyone got any recommendations, truck related or not? It don't matter.
I believe it or not, Doc, there is more than one Meatloaf movie that deals with trucks that came around this time. Came out in the year 2000, and it stars Meatloaf as the bad guy and Lachlan Monroe, who you might remember from Night at the Roxbury and Freddy vs. Jason. He played the cop that actually liked the kids. He's the main character. He's the good guy, and his wife gets abducted, and his wife is played by Kristen Davis from Sex and the City.
Oh,
and
wow.
it is very similar plot.
What's the name of the movie?
It's called Black Top.
Black Top. So he starred in one called Black Dog and another one called Black Top.
It might have been the sequel.
He didn't get very far through the alphabet with his scripts that he was reading.
He had Spice World, then he had Black Dog, then he had
Spice
Black
World,
Top.
Fight Club.
Yeah, he was in Fight Club, that little movie.
That tiny little movie.
There is one recommendation I'd like to make. So you know the scene where he reaches for the thermos and he looks back at the windshield and he almost hits the guy in the truck, right? I'd just like to let you guys know on the 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee, front-end sensors would have never let that happen. That's right, guys. It's fully equipped with all the highest rated Sadies.
That's awesome.
This is true. Has anyone else had a recommendation?
Yeah, I
Duel.
got two.
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
Oh,
Duel?
well, I
Who
got
said Duel?
Crocs
Yeah.
did.
No, David did.
David?
Yeah, David said it. Yeah, Duel was that Spielberg's first movie, right?
It was a made-for-TV movie.
Yep. What you
Never
got,
heard
Raph?
Over the Top, Sylvester Stallone.
Oh
The
yeah,
arm wrestling
Phenomenal.
movie, dude.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
He's a truck driver in that one. And then Smokey and the Bandit. You cannot forget Smokey and
hell
the Bandit.
yeah.
No, you cannot.
There you go.
And Road Warrior. If you want trucks, fucking Road Warrior.
Yeah. Miles, you got
I'll
one?
switch gears slightly. I recommend the movie Hard Rain with Christian Slater. It's Christian Slater and Ed Asner are, instead of a couple driving across the desert, they are armored truck drivers in Florida. And Morgan Freeman is the bad guy in that one. They take advantage and basically they rob the armored truck during a hurricane. It's not a great movie, but it's a fun movie that gives me similar vibes. And there's a very small but very hilarious part by Betty White in that movie that brings it just that flair of comic edge that it needs.
Nice.
Very nice. Crux, you got one?
I don't have. I want to ask you guys. Actually, I don't have one to advise with, but I wanted to ask you guys because I knew you guys would know. Other than like Good Morning Vietnam stuff like that, what are some other good JT Walsh like villain movies? Like, what are some of the best ones?
I would say
You have to go to
Jay
the
would
wiki.
know. Yeah.
I can only really think of Good Morning Vietnam. JT Walsh is he's not like a cornerstone of like most of his movies. I don't remember. Actually, and a lot of times I get him confused with the guy who one of the guys from Roadhouse. For the longest time, I was convinced that it was Lance Henriksen and JT Walsh on this episode of Tales from the Crypt, where it's two gamblers, but it's not him; it's somebody else. So I get him confused a lot with this other guy. So I don't have a lot off the top of my head.
Misery, Backdraft.
Backdraft.
Dude.
Loaded
Greatest Kurt
Weapon
Russell
number
movie.
1, which I would love to watch again.
Yeah, because like I could look up a list, but I was just wondering out of that list what you guys think would be the best. So, but that's okay.
Best.
I don't know.
He has an incredible filmography, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Dude, this guy was in Tequila Sunrise. That was another Kurt Russell movie. Man, this guy, him and Kurt, they go back.
Got the same agent.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going on. All right. Well, with that said, let's tell them where they can find you on the internet. If you have any shows coming up, Raph, where can they find you?
Little House on the Parody on YouTube and Instagram, and I have a show in September. Hopefully, I'll get booked here soon and get some more shows. I'll let you guys know.
Very nice, David. Where can they find you on the internet?
Children of Dave on Instagram, and then September 2nd, I'll be hosting a burlesque show at Divas.
Nice.
Crux, where can they find you?
At CRUX Crawford on all of the socials. And that's also where you can see shows I got coming up this Wednesday. I'm at Addison Improv for Dezo.
Yay!
Dezo Deal and Friends. It's going to be an awesome show, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
Cool. And then you got the Crux Yeah podcast, of course.
Crux Yeah podcast, of course. Yes, thank you for reminding me. Yeah, you can check that out. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, everywhere you listen to podcasts, and YouTube for the visuals.
Very nice. Miles, sorry. Where can they find you?
You can find me everywhere online at Mr. Most Days Off. Tomorrow, I am on the biggest bringer in the entire country. That'll be taking place at the Plano House of Comedy. Just one night only for me. I'm roasting my friend Jamie Jakes at Reno's this Friday, and I'll be at the Hyenas Red Room this Saturday night.
Very nice.
Nice.
Jay's bringing back Ego Phoenix, but he's going to Salem. Is that correct?
Well, no, I'm going to Salem at the end of the month, but which will be a lot of fun. But yeah, I chose the Journey into Fear. So I think I'm gonna do mostly movies that have to do with traveling. I think that'd be because I'll be traveling.
That's awesome.
So I think it could be fun. So Dead and Buried might make the cut.
Are you driving or flying?
Oh no, we're definitely flying. My buddy Thrash, he had the idea. He said he wants to go to somewhere kind of fun and spooky. And last time I was in Boston, they said Salem's just the place to be. But apparently it's incredibly packed, which is fine. But yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to drive all the way from Texas up to Massachusetts. And
I'm super jealous, by the way. That looks like it's going to be a blast.
It should be. It should be.
Don't bring back any ghosts.
Oh man. Ooh. He's gonna and you can check us out at wearepodcast.podbean, where you can find all the podcasts. Check out the Act Out podcast. I do that for the Improv Comedy, the Improv TX Comedy Network. You can find us at social media /wearepodcast everywhere, and you can find us every Monday at 8 p.m. Central discussing horror movies. Next week will be Chopping Mall. Yes, that is Raph's pick. Are you going to change it, Raph, or are you sticking with that? Hell yeah! So Chopping Mall.
I want to do that other movie. No, I don't want to do that scary movie yet.
Okay,
what movie is that?
The A23 film. Talk to Me.
Talk to Me.
Oh, A24.
Yeah. We can.
That movie's fire,
bro.
I gotta check that out, man.
I'm scared just talking about it.
It's really good.
It's so good,
right? I've heard about it.
The movie doesn't work though without that performance from the lead actress. She's
so
knocks
solid,
it out of the park.
I thought she was channeling her inner Helen Kyle for a lot of that movie.
Helen Keller.
Helen Kyle from Candyman.
Oh yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
The gaslighting and whatever, no one believing her, all that stuff.
Yep.
Blah blah blah. I won't leave anymore. No more spoilers.
All right, cool.
And you know what I loved about that movie too, Jay, is it really it's modern and how it really incorporates what would really happen in a situation like that. They would all get their fucking phones out and put it on TikTok is what would happen.
Yeah.
So they really did a good job with that.
Gotta create that content, baby. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for being here. Keep horror in your heart. Please keep it in your heart. And with that said, we will see you next week. All right, guys. Thank you again.
And there it is. Thank you again so much for checking out the podcast today. If you enjoyed it, head over to your favorite podcast app, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, and iTunes, and give We Are Podcast Network a like. And since this is Camp Slash Horrorcast, if you want to check us out live, we will be on Twitch and YouTube every Monday at 8 p.m. Central Time. You can find us at twitch.tv/We Are Podcast Network and youtube.com/We Are Podcast Network. And if you've enjoyed this podcast, you're going to love the other podcasts here on the We Are Podcast Network. We have We Are Air, where we talk movies, entertainment, whatever the fuck we want to talk about. That's me, that's Jake, and that's Javi. We're breaking down that pop culture, and we're having so much fun. And don't forget to check out We Are Bagu, a video game podcast, where we talk Atari to Steam and everything in between. That's me and Dr. Ethan Eastwood breaking down all that video game lore, heroes, Gyros, dungeons, and distractions side quests. Me and the boys were playing some D&D. You can start that one from Season 1, Episode 1. It's a blast the whole way through. And I Hate Being Sober. Personal stories from epic people. I sit down with some of my favorite people of all time. We talk about their trials, their tribulations, and their journey this far. Also, check the links in the description for our social media. You can find us at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at /We Are Podcast Network. With that said, hopefully we see you in the live stream.